Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching, much appreciated. Um, so today I thought we'd do something that was useful, and today we're going to build um, a portfolio website, and we're going to deploy it, although not in this video. So we're going to build a portfolio website for a software developer or really anybody. It can fit a lot of different people, but I think for a software engineer, it's nice and simple, straight to the point. The HR department is not going to be confused when they go to your website. They'll be able to find all your social media, all your work experience, and your contact information, and that's really what they're looking for. Um, so if that sounds good, consider subscribing as I do videos like this every week. Uh, Simple and easy to understand explanations to common programming issues and software issues. So please consider subscribing. And also, if you find this video helpful or you want to use it for yourself, please go ahead and leave a like. I'd appreciate it. If you think it sucks, then hit the thumbs down button. If you have any follow-up questions or comments, please leave them below. Now, so basically, we're going to build and deploy a portfolio website with React for free. All right, now let me break that down. So in this video, we're going to build the portfolio site, get it all ready. We're going to build it, and then we're going to actually set it up for production. And then in the next video, probably next week, I will show you how to deploy it and add it to Netlify, and Netlify will host it for free, and we'll go over what Netlify is and how to use it in the next video. And also show you how to buy your own domain name and then use Netlify to host your file. So totally for free, except for registering a domain, which is only a couple dollars a year, so it's not a big deal. So free website, and we're building it with React. Okay, so hopefully that sounds good. If it does, please leave a like below. All right, let's get started. So what I have here, I created a folder called Portfolio, and then I did npx create React app, and I ran through that, and that's what we're looking at here. And then I opened it in Visual Studio Code. Now, if you're confused on npx and create React app, please look in the description after this video. I have a video explaining the basics of npx and how to use create React app and how to clean up the file system, yada yada. I will leave that in the description below. So let's open our project, and I did just that. I cleared out all the excess files that we don't need. Erased that. I deleted all the CSS. I didn't clean this up. You don't have to. You just delete all these comments. Delete this no script tag. That's fine. Here, you put your name. Here. Oh, one thing I didn't do, but that's actually okay. So one thing we're going to be using is Bootstrap, and which I think is still good. And for your personal portfolio, I think it's perfectly fine. We're also going to be using Font Awesome. And yes, I know React has libraries to deal with Font Awesome, but I just find that, especially for this, I mean, if you were doing a project for somebody, for a business or something, yeah, maybe go with a uh, a library. I forget what it's called, Font Awesome React or whatever. But for this, your own personal account for Font Awesome is fine. By the way, I have this little icon as my favicon, which is this little code symbol thing here. This is where I got it from, gouger.io/font icon, and it has all the Font Awesome icons, and then you can pick the color, download it, and then use it as a favicon or a logo. Really, you can just type in anything. Tree, whatever you want. Pizza slice. You could change the background color, I think. Anyway, I'm a little tired. I was stacked. That must be new. Cool. Anyway, so that's a nice little thing. Also, I have a bunch of images stored in my assets file. I have a header background, which is just this city skyline. I wanted it dark because our text is going to be white. And then I got these 3 images, which we're going to use for our work experience cards. And you'll see what I'm talking about when we get there. Okay, let me close this index.html. And by the way, I got those images from pexel.com. It's a free site where you can get stock images. You can search for anything. And it'll give you a bunch of free stock images. You can select it by color, right? Like that. Size, orientation, yada yada. It's a nice little thing. We are going to be using 2 React uh, add-ons. This one called React Simple Animate, which is nice. We're going to use that for a fade effect or fade in. Doesn't take up much space and it's pretty easy to implement, and they got a lot of options to add in. The only other one we're going to be using is called Moment, which just handles formatting of dates. This isn't 100% necessary, but it's just a way to sneak in another uh, React add-on. Okay. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is add a folder called components. Components. Yeah, there we go. All right, so everything is going to go into our app.js file, right? So for our first component, we're going to create one called top bar.js. And I'm sorry, we forgot to add our bootstrap. So let's go to bootstrap. Good. Get started. We just need the CSS. So copy that. We're going to go into our index.html. Like you said, you can use Reactstrap, but for right now, I'm just going to use Bootstrap. And we're also going to go to, actually, I'm going to get this link off screen. I'm going to go to Font Awesome, create an account. It's free, and it's free. You can use the icons as much as you want. I think if you use the account on multiple websites, they might charge you, but I've been using it for a bunch of websites and they never charge me. So it's, I think the only reason you pay is to get, they have a wider range of different font icon, uh, like different variations. Anyway, all right, so just once you sign up for Font Awesome, it'll give you a kit code. Just copy that in there, save that, close that. That's all we need. Now, another thing I need to mention, extension for VS Code that I'm using, ES7 React Redux GraphQL React Native Snippets. I also have this ES6 code snippets, which is nice, prettier, which formats my code on saving, and React Native tools. Don't worry about that. All right, so the snippets, RAF, I type, and then I get a React functional component. Now for this top bar, let's see, where do we start? Okay, so realistically, there's not a lot of functionality. Now, I'm not doing that. You could if you wanted to, but you don't have to. You could add some functionality. All of our functionality is coming from JavaScript and React. Actually, let me double check something. Give me a sec, guys. Okay, you know what? All right, so we did need one more thing from Bootstrap. I forgot we do need the JS bundle, and this, I know it seems like cheating, but you know what? Screw it. I'm going to add the JavaScript bundle from the CDN because that allows us to have a reactive or responsive um, navbar so that when we close it, when it's on a smaller screen, it'll have that little hamburger menu. All right, that's all we need from Bootstrap. Okay, I'll leave these two open for now. All right, I swear that's all we're doing with index.html. Now, our top bar. So I'm going to create, let's see. Actually, I'm going to get rid of these divs. I'm going to use a React fragment. Okay. Then I'm going to create a nav, which is a Bootstrap property. Okay. And I'm going to give this a class name. It's got to be class name of navbar space navbar. What is it? Expanded. No, I'm sorry. Just expand dash large. You can make it whatever size you want. Navbar dash light, and background is light also. Okay, cool. Now I'm just going to copy this from the actual Bootstrap. I'm going to post it in there. This is basically Bootstrap. This is our Navbar Toggle, meaning that when our device is smaller, it will adjust. Okay, good. Now, so that's just for that. Now, I'm going to create another div. Good. Give it a class name. Oops. Class name equals collapse navbar collapse, because that's what it is, and that's all we need. All right. ID. This isn't necessary, but just in case. Navbar supported. All right. Cool. Now. So basically, our general idea for this portfolio is to keep it as simple as possible. Give only the information that the HR department or the director of IT or the senior web developer or software engineer, give them only the information you need to see. They don't care about your dog. They don't care about your kids. They don't care about what you did for the last 10 years in your personal life. You do not need a picture, although I think some countries you do need a picture, but for the most part, you don't need a picture. And if you don't need a picture, don't put one in there. End of story. They can, right or wrong or in between, they can prejudge you based on how you look without talking to you. So we're only going to give them the basics: contact, work experience, and uh, your skills, the skills that you have. All right, so let's create an unordered list with a class name. Again, all these got to be class name. Class name, navbar, again, navbar dash nav, I'm sorry. ME dash auto, which is for margin. This is also for margin bottom dash 2. This is all Bootstrap, by the way. Margin bottom dash, when it's large, set it back to 0. Okay. There's our unordered listo. Now, let's create a list. Oops, not lil. class name, oops, class name. We got to get going. Just by the way, I'm not going to type every single thing out, but I will post this up to my GitHub account if you want to take a look at the code. I don't want to take this too long. I just want to give you a general idea of how I have and would lay out my portfolio. By the way, this is the exact design I used for my portfolio, and I'll leave a link to my portfolio in the description so you can take a look at that. And I'll leave the link to the code in the description as well if you want to check that out. And I'll appreciate it. So this is nav-item. Good. And then in here, we want to give it an anchor tag href. I'm going to put a hashtag, which just makes it a link. You'll have to put whatever it is. I would suggest put target equals underscore blank there. And here's where we put our font awesome. So I'm gonna put my GitHub link. Not really, but I mean, feel free to add whatever you want. I would not suggest, if you use any social media for in a non-professional way, I would highly suggest not including that. There's no need to. Um, so LinkedIn and GitHub are the two main ones that I would suggest. Which we'll do. LinkedIn. I always forget to spell LinkedIn. Here, get the square. Just copy this. Come back to our code. Delete this one here. Good. Oh, whoops, I'm sorry. This is supposed to be in another list item. Should be this item, class name equals nav item. By the way, this is all Bootstrap, so this is not a Bootstrap crash course by any means. And I'm going to do one more. This one I'm going to do mail to whatever. And you would put your email address. I'm just going to put a hash for it right now. And I'm going to go over, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to get envelope, the envelope icon. Okay. Sweet. Come back over here. Change out this. Good. I think, so we got it going good. Now we have our unordered list here. So this is going to appear on the left-hand side. Now we want some buttons to appear on the right-hand side. So I'm going to create an anchor tag, href here. Again, you would add in the appropriate link. I'm going to add the download attribute, and I'm going to make this a button with a class name of btn dash, I'm going to use success, and I'll say btn dash sm, which is small. Again, I don't know why I'm going over this, and I'm going to make this my resume, so this you would put your resume in the assets folder, and then you would just do like something like this, oops, slash assets, and then slash whatever your resume name is, assets slash resume dot pdf or whatever, something like that. But I'm going to leave it like this for now. I'm going to put a second button here, and I'm going to make this link to a section called work. I'm going to delete this download thing because it's not a download, and I'm going to say my work. Okay, so what's going to happen is they're going to click this button, and it's going to slide down to that section. Close this assets folder, close this public folder. so you're not confused. All right, let's go into app.js. Actually, I think we're done with this top bar file. So I'm going to close that. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to import top bar, whoops, two bar, top bar from dot slash components slash top bar. Okay, you see where I'm going with this so far? Good. Top bar slash. Let's run this. See what it looks like. npm start. This might take a few seconds. I'll edit it if it takes too long. Bear with me. I need a sip of water. Okay. And by the way, guys, you could absolutely build your portfolio site with just HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, and a little bit of JavaScript. But I figure if you're going for a front-end developer position, you might as well build your your portfolio in React. I mean, why not, right? Couldn't hurt, right? So that's what we're doing. And Netlify hosts React to apps just as easily as they host regular HTML um, elements, right? All right, this thing is taking forever. All right, well, that's loading. Let's create another component. We're going to call this header. This will be our header.js, right? Okay, that it seems to be starting. Good. Oh, you know what? I forgot to add the two React libraries that or React packages that we're gonna be using. That's all right. We don't need them right now. Okay, it's going. Let's go back to our code. Now, RAF for that called header. This isn't going to do much. This is just going to house our inner header. This is mainly for, don't worry about these hrefs. This is just because I put a hashtag for the link. When you put your regular link in there, these won't show up. So don't worry about those. Import inner header from that slash. We're going to call this inner header. We haven't created this yet, but we will. Okay, so this is all header does. And then in here is going to be inner header slash. Okay. I'm going to create that component now, call it inner header, obviously. Oops, inner header.js. Cool. RAF to generate a React functional component, and there we are. Header, we're done with that. Let's save and close it. Okay. App.js, good. Actually, let's bring in the header for app.js. Import header from dot slash header. Good. And that's going to go right under here, as you may have expected. Oops, sorry about that. Header slash closing. Good, save all that. Let's take a look, see if it finally opened. Module cannot resolve dot slash header. Oh, right. Got it. We got an error already. This needs to be component slash header. Just like the top one. Components slash header. All right, here we are. Good. All right, good. It's light. Don't worry, we're going to add some CSS to take care of that. I'm going to do one quick thing. I'm going to come back to those buttons in the top bar. Oh, okay. I am going to add just here. This is just a bootstrap class, margin -2. just to give it a little bit of space. There we go, that's much better. Now, as you can see, this is just an empty link, but it would directly start downloading your resume. I should have created a fake PDF file, but I didn't have time. My apologies. All right, good. Let's go back to our code. Good, let's close this top bar. Let's keep this app.js open, and here's our inner header. Now, so this is going to be the main header. Let me show you. So in here, this whole thing, right? All right. Now, this is also going to be kind of simple, not a big deal. So we're going to have a div. We're going to give it a class name is going to be equal to container for Bootstrap. Oops, sorry, there shouldn't be a space there. Just container. Container, we're also going to give it a custom class of name that we're going to edit and a margin of 4. Okay. Now inside that, we're going to put I guess an H1, sure. And you could put your name, okay, just like that. And then I guess underneath you can do, I don't know, an H5 maybe. I am a passionate software guy. Whatever, whatever you want to put, doesn't matter. It's mostly about the styling for this. Cool. Now, let's take this time. I'm going to take this time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my app.css file, and I'm just going to copy it. Okay, which also includes an import of a Google font, which is nice. Like I said, I'm just going to paste this in here. I'm not going to spend the time to type all this out, but as you can see, it's a decent amount. I bring in Google font from the CDN. Excuse me. This is where we set our scroll behavior to be smooth, so that when you scroll, when we click the link for our work, it'll scroll smoothly. Okay, and feel free to take a look. Now, this part I want to point out to you. This is the part where we set the background, excuse me, for our header. As you can see in our assets folder, it's called header-bg. This is how you set it. I just do background. This is a default color. This is the URL, which is the file path. And then I set it center, and then to cover. The rest is just color and margin and font size and stuff. Pretty basic, but take a look at it. I mean, obviously you can change it up to whatever you want, the colors, etc. What do we got here? What is this? Yes, it's header JPEG. Did I spell? The last time I spelled assets wrong. Oh, because it's not in the component folder. It's just straight up assets. See, there we go. Take a look. Good. Good. All right, it's not showing up. That's okay. Header, so it should look like that. Sometimes when you add a wait a minute, did we forget something? Oh, I know what we forgot. My bad. Sorry, guys. Close up that assets folder. We forgot to add the class name. Class name. Oops. Name equals header. Okay. Sorry about that. Got that. This inner header, we already did. We already gave it the class name of name. And there we go. Save all. And I'm just going to do a quick custom because I did do a little something different. Justify content. We have to change this to, we have to add flex direction column. Because as you can see, we did flex box, flex start, align the items to the center of the screen. There we go. No, that wasn't right. What the heck is it? It's not a span. What the heck is that? That's a row. Maybe it is row. I think no. I think the default flex direction for Flexbox is row. All right, whatever. Let me just come in here and break tag. It's a kind of a cheap way to do it, but I don't feel like fudging on it. That's not it. And that should be. All right, that's good. I'm fine with that. All right, so we're done with that. Done with this. Done with header. One thing I want to do, I forgot to do. Go back to top bar. First of all, we need to change all these classes in our icons to class name. Otherwise, it'll constantly warn us about it. It'll be annoying. So just Alt on Windows, click, and you can type in all at the same time. Save all, and then let's give the anchor tag a class name equal to nav-link. Again, this is Bootstrap, just to make it look a little nicer for you guys. Not 100% necessary. We could just add it ourselves, but just to make it look a little better. There we go. Now they look like nav-link. So this is all your information basically. Your email, your LinkedIn, your GitHub, your resume, and then your work, which we'll build later. Okay, cool. You know what? Let's change this up for you guys. What the heck? I did it like that, but let's do this. Uh, this center. Change justify content to center. Good. Font size larger. Let's do font size. Change it to 4 rem. And let's say text align center. All right, good, good. Align center, just oops, let me close this top bar. Let me open this inner header. Get rid of this break tag because I don't think break tags even work. Okay, and so I just added, where is it? This align item center, and you have that. Justify. There we go. I also changed the heading 1 font size, and there we go. Got everything in nice. Good. Now let's do our next part. We don't need these requisite packages yet. We don't need those yet. We will. Trust me. Don't worry. Don't get nervous. Let's create another component. We'll call this skills, capital skills.js. I got skills, yo. RAF. Generate that. Good. Now this one's pretty simple. Let's see. We're going to give it a class name equal to, you guessed it, skills. All right, I'm going to do a span. Actually, I'm going to copy and paste this just because it's pretty easy and I can just explain it. So here we have, I got an H5 I give it a little margin. I give it the title of skills. I add a span inside the H5 and I include all this is JS. You'll see when I add it. HTML5. These are all the icons for these particular languages. Now, obviously for you, yours is going to be different or it could be similar. but that's that. And don't forget to change all the icons to class name. Let's save that. I'm going to come close my app CSS because we're done with that. Close my inner header, and I'm going to import skills from /component/ skills. Good. And I'll put this right under here. Skills, which is generally how your resume is going to look. You're going to have your introduction, your summary, then your skills, then your work experience. We are not going to put, excuse me, as you can see, there's the skills. It just gives the icons. You don't need much more than that. All right. And it's nice. You know, you just scroll down. You don't need much more than your work experience, your skills, end of story, and your resume. That's it. Okay. Cool. Great. Now let's get to work on the most important aspect, which of course is our work. Now this is going to be our biggest component yet, and this is where we're going to need our React packages. So the first one is npm install React. What is it? Simple animate. I can't animate. Yeah, simple animate and moment. I might as well just add it in now. And while that's loading, I'm going to create a new file called work. You can call it whatever you like. RAF to generate a React functional component. Now we're going to, like I said, this is going to be our biggest component. I'm going to bring in use state, and use effect, because this is how our animation is going to work. It's basically just going to be a fade in. We're going to import animate from that library React dash simple dash animate. Good. And this is where we're going to also import, we'll say image, oh, sorry, curly braces, image one from, that's dot slash, no, sorry, dot slash assets slash image, what did I call it? Image one. So you got to type it exactly. This is how you import images into React, by the way. .jpeg, and then we use this constant to, you'll see, import image two, two from dot slash, assets slash image dash two. And I don't know why I didn't copy and paste before, but let me do that so I don't waste your time. We're going to get image three. These are all the same. And there we go. All right, that's all we need to bring in. Okay, so let's see. What should we do? Oh, okay. Now, first, okay. So first I'm going to add a fragment like that. Okay. Then I'm going to use this div. I'm going to say ID will be equal to work, and I'll show you why in a little bit. Class name, basically, class name is going to be skills. Basically, we gave it the ID work because remember our top bar, this button is hashtag work, so it's going to skip to this section, and we're just going to put in here work. just like that. All right, now give us some space. Now we need a div with a class name equal to work. And I'm going to give it margin bottom dash 4 just so it doesn't scrape the bottom of the web page. Now, everything in here is going to be controlled by bootstrap row, so class name row. Yep, good. And now our first column is going to be a card and then a card and then a card. So inside our row, give some space. A lot of divs here, so buckle in. Div class name equals column. Whoops, parentheses, column, or call. Good. Another div, class name equal to card. Okay, so this is our actual card. Okay, let's see, we're gonna put in the image tag. I think it's img. Yeah, source is equal to, whoops, curly braces, our image one, our first image. And then you can do, oh, you got to give it a class name. A lot of this. I'll copy and paste the rest so you guys don't have to sit through this. Class name, we're just creating basic bootstrap cards. It's all in the documentation. Card dash img dash top. That, and I guess you could do an alt equals image one. I don't know. Type whatever you want. I'm too tired to think. Slash, close that off. Why the heck did it go on the new line? Move this over so you can see a little bit better. Oops. All right, this down on the next line. So as you can see, this is the div where our card is. Next is a H5 with a class name equal to, oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. I'm getting tired. I'm going to wrap this up soon. Don't worry. Div class name equals card dash body. Okay. And then H5, you can put project one. By the way, guys, only put your top 3 or 6 projects, or 4 or 5 or whatever you got. But, you know, I mean, if you're proud of it, absolutely 100% put it up. But if it's, you know, if you're a little, if you're questioning, should I put this on my resume or my portfolio, then the answer is probably no. All right, title, project one. I'm just going to copy this. This is a descriptor. Good. Then we're going to add, what I like to do is, what I like to do and what they suggest on Bootstrap, href equals here, leads to nothing. Class name, Jesus. Class name equals btn dash success. Use whatever one you like, and oops, margin one. And then I'll copy. We'll say live, and then I'll copy this down. Create another one, and then this will be where your code goes. So code, which will lead to GitHub or Bitbucket or whatever it is. And so we got that. Now we are going to, so we're going to get all our columns, all our cards set up, and then we'll add the animation. And we only got one quick thing to do after that. So I'm just going to copy this down, copy it down 2 more times. Okay, and then you can change it to project 2 or whatever the name is. You can change the description to, I don't know, project 2. And oh, don't forget to change the image, of course. Project 2, project 3, project 3. I'll leave the same description. And now we need to bring in our app.js file. We're going to bring in, well, we'll just put it here for now, and then we'll import it up here. Import work from /components/ where is it? Work. Okay. Save all. Let's see what we're looking at. All right. So as you can see, it's the same. Let me refresh real quick. Oh, sorry guys. I forgot to restart my server. Oh my God, is this still installing? Sorry guys. Stop that moment. Okay, we're installed. All right. So let me do npm start. Start up another live server, or not live server rather, but another dev server to compile our app. There we go. There we go. There we go. It's loading, it's loading, it's loading. Loading, loading, loading. Oh my God, it's so slow. Sorry guys. Thanks for being patient. Like I said, so this week we're going to build the actual portfolio. You can feel free to get it from GitHub and customize it any way you like. And then next week, oh, of course, and then next week I'll show you how to deploy it for free. What do we got here? Excuse me, source component, attempted import error, image 1 is not exported from assets. Let me close that here. Oh, I forgot the JPEG. You got to put the file extension in this case. Okay, it's not like importing a JS file. You have to import the what? Assets, image, yeah. You know what, guys? I'm just gonna. I'll put all the images and stuff. Uh, I'll upload this exact file structure. So I apologize, guys. I'm just gonna change. I put the assets folder inside the components folder. God, let me see. Attempted import error. Image one is not exported from .assets. Assets. My apologies, guys. I'm sorry. I'm very tired tonight. You did not need these curly braces around this import to import an image rather. Sorry about that, guys. It'll all be in the GitHub. I'm a little sleepy. Oh my god. Okay. No such file or directory open. Portfolio source assets header dot. Oh, now we got to go into the app.css and tell it to go components slash assets, which I think is the way I had it originally. And there we go. We get our href errors, but don't worry about that. All right, just reload, and there we go. Let's take a look, and here we go. Here's our, oh, these should be buttons. Why the hell are they not buttons? Anyway, okay, great. All right, one last thing to add. Oh, let me close this. Close our app.js. Let me close that. It should be. Yeah. Anyway, I'll leave them as code. Oh, this is why I missed an S here. Always the details, kids. It's usually not the error of the framework, it's your error. There. And there they go. Now they're buttons. So ideally what would happen is you would click this live button and it would go to a live version of the product of your project. And then this would go to your GitHub repo for that particular project. All right, that's done. Let's do one more. And we're going to call this footer.js. This is by no means necessary, but it's a nice little thing to add in our use of moment. Oh my God, Jesus. All right, so let's add in our animate real quick. So the way this works is basically you wrap, and we're going to do one and then we'll wrap them all the same. Okay, so basically the way it works is I am going to copy this or cut it to my clipboard, and then I'm going to animate, come down here, close it off. Then I'm going to open up slash animate slash animate. Good. And then in between here is where what you want to animate. Excuse me. And then in here we set we got to set some sort of state, okay, which is going to be equal to that. And then our state is going to be play, okay, so that the animation knows when to play. So up here we're going to we're going to use this state set play as our function. So we're getting a little bit of functionality here finally. And we're going to set that to use state, and we'll set that to false by default. Okay. Whoops. And then, so we want this to load when the component loads, right? Component did mount or will mount, whatever. So use effect comes into play here, right? And then we're just going to set play here, and we're going to set play to, oops, sorry, equal, this is an arrow function to whatever it's not. So we're going to set play to whatever currently is not. Okay, And then we'll just set this back to an empty array so there's not an infinite loop. Now, there's some additional things you can add to this. You could set a duration. We'll set this to 2. I think this goes in seconds, not milliseconds, because it's a pre-programmed framework, so they sort of take care of that. There's a delay. We'll set to 1, which is 1 second for the first one. Okay, now we set start, okay, equal to double curly braces. And what do we want it to do? What do we want the animation to do? Opacity, we want it to start out at 0. Okay. Now this is, okay, good. So that's our start. So you can set it to, you know, I don't know, top 0 or left 0. So you could set 2 things, right? But I'm only doing 1 just to give you an example. And then end. Where's it going to end up? Opacity, which is hard to spell, of 1, right? So it's gonna go from being invisible to visible. And that's it. Now read the documentation. Of course, there's a lot of different ones. Did I spell Animate? Did I spell that right? What is it giving me an error? Oh, sorry. You don't need this closing. So I'm just going to copy this, copy, and then I'm going to place it right here. I'm going to place a closing tag here, Animate. Good. And I'm going to change this delay. I'm going to change this to 2. And you'll see why when we load it. I'm going to copy this again, copy and add it to our third card. And I'm going to change this delay to 3. Come down here below this and add Animate. Okay. All right, I think we're done. Let's check it out. Yeah, no errors, good. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3. Nice little animation. Looks good. Guys, let's wrap this up. I'm getting sickies. All right, so here's our, we're just gonna make this footer. We're gonna import, you don't have to do this, but I think it's nice. Import moment from dash, parentheses moment. Okay. Now we need 1. This is not really state. You don't have to bring in use state. We're just going to create a const. We're going to call it today equals new date. Oops, sorry, date here. So we're storing today's date in that. I'm going to give this div a class name equals to footer, which coincides with what's inside the CSS. Footer with 2 O's. I'm going to give this a p tag. Oh, Jesus. P tag, and I'm going to say ampersand copy comma, which is the copyright symbol, Adam here. Then I'm going to open a JSS expression. I'm going to type moment, parentheses. Today, we're going to pass in that today variable, which is just the date, today's date. I'm going to do dot format. This is moment, by the way. This is what we're using moment for. And we're going to do MMM, which gives you the 3-letter abbreviation of the month. We're going to do DO for the day, comma, I'm sorry, no comma, and then YYY for all 4 years. All right. And then let's add this to our app.js. Here, footer slash import footer from dot slash component slash footer, you know. Save all. Let's take a look at our finished product, assuming there's no errors. There is not, thank God. Here we are. Here's our finished product here, and this works. Boom. They fade in, lovely. Here's this. So basically, what that footer does is it just gives us the current date every single day this changes, right? Which is nice. It's a nice little feature. You could even put that up here if you wanted to, just to show that you know some conditional logic. Guys, that's it. It's been a long video. I can't do any more. Please stay tuned for the next video where we deploy this app on Netlify for free, and I show you how to do that. I also show you how to get a cheap domain name registered. Could be anything you want as long as it's available. And then I show you how to attach that domain name to your Netlify free hosted website. All right, guys. If you like this video, if you found it helpful, please leave a thumbs up. If you guys use this, please send me a link so I can check it out. I'd really like to see if somebody used this and how it came out. That would be awesome. I would really appreciate that. Um, so that's it, guys. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking with me. That's it. We're done. I'm out. Goodbye. Take care of yourself and each other. Bye.